Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 32 of the Ability Almanac. We're almost to the end. My name is Brian, and this character is actually the second last character in the sort of initial run. What I mean by that is that after this character, Swamp Thing, will be Wonder Woman, and then we will backtrack to the past DLCs that were in letters that, I had skipped. So Black Manta and Hellboy Black Manta and Hellboy will be next week. I can guarantee you that, and that's going to be super cool. And then after that, what will happen is that once a character drops, say Adam, because he's dropping December 12th, on December 14th, there will be an Ability Almanac for him. And it will be like that for every other character in Fighter Pack 3, including the goddamn Ninja Turtles. That will be fantastic. And without further ado, let's check out the Jolly Green Goliath Swamp Thing. I mean, he's jolly sometimes, right? Swamp Thing is one of the most unusual characters in Injustice 2, being a command grab character with some of the more unique options, including Green Thumb, which has several ways to do things like heal or do Spike Thumb, but it does have poor range. That's where the Trunk Punch meter burn comes in. You can, with a certain ability, meter burn this normal in order to get a pseudo Green Thumb grab. However, unlike normal Green Thumb shenanigans, you only get one option you only get one option no matter what, even if you meter burn to heal. You can't get the two heals like you do normally. Otherwise, it's basically the same. And with the most recent buff that allows Trunk Punch to be armored while in the Abigail's Garden, you basically have an armored Green Thumb with range. Another interesting ability that covers one of Swamp Thing's more interesting disadvantages is a projectile in Spine Blast. Unlike the Log Kick, this is a full screen projectile, but it is a high. At least when you meter burn it, it does multiple hits, and it builds meter pretty respectably. Especially, surprisingly, on meter burn, you can get a little bit of your meter back from that. Now, with Abigail's Garden, it's his trait, and what that does is that it lays out a patch of ground that you cannot jump or dash through and does damage over time, allowing you to be more susceptible to Swamp Thing's grabs. It's kind of standard fare by now that you know this, but with a certain ability, you can actually meter burn Abigail's Garden to get a pretty sizable portion of Abigail's Garden right out of the gate. Not enough to cover the whole screen, but enough to kind of get more of a head start and lay out more of a patch of grass in order to cause shenanigans. Now, with Refoliation, which is a normal down bag too, it is a high and is really best for catching people jumping. But Bonsai, which is basically an augmented version of Refoliation while you get to keep Refoliation, is a mid with a little more reach that you can combo itself into. Now, I tried to combo two of these into Vine Grab, but it doesn't work. Trust me, I did try. So, this is a nice, interesting alternate to the Refoliation special. I do believe this is armored as well as Refoliation, but I was not able to test it, unfortunately. In this next loadout, we have Sinking Sloth, which is, I think I'm saying that right, which is a 2-slot ability that gives Swamp Thing a teleport, but it burns the full trait, and it has the same trait recovery, so you can't teleport all willy-nilly. From what I can see, though, this does seem like a pretty decent option for a teleport. You can teleport at range, or teleport behind the opponent, or, as you'll see at the end of this video, you can teleport in place to just, like, say, well, no, to a projectile, or something of those lines to fake out your opponent. In this final loadout here, we have an ability that it would turn out Firestorm would eventually get as a normal move. It's called Swamp Juice, and what it does is that it helps augment Swamp Thing's trait recovery, because normally once the trait is done, you have to wait until it comes back, unless you use Swamp Juice. You saw it was the green aura version of the heal. Now, you only get one attack option per fight, and Swamp Thing per Green Thumb, and Swamp Thing Swamp Juice counts as an attack. So you can't Swamp Juice twice. which would make this kind of broken because Swamp Juice already recovers half of your trait in one press, but you can heal then Swamp Juice, but not the other way around. And this also means that you can't Swamp Juice into an attack. But, excuse me, this is a nice way to recover your trait if you're playing with abilities on. And it does come with the Trunk Punch meter burn as well, if you have that ability as well, so you can kind of double them up in order to get maximum swamp juiciness. I don't know. Finally, we have this Swamp Thing Super Combo, which isn't very elaborate, but that's because of how Swamp Thing's Super Combo works. And of course, frame data. Stay tuned to the end of this video where there's a brief demonstration of Swamp Thing kind of just teleporting in place. And as always, don't forget to be awesome. Stay tuned for Wonder Woman.